Welcome, guys. This is the first podcast of Generation S. I am the host, and my name's Obo. I'm here with Zach, Jake, and Luke. First thing we're going to talk about really is going to be the NBA and the also weekend that happened a couple weekends ago. What's your guys' thoughts on just All-Star Weekend in a whole?
I personally think that it was one of the better ones in the past few years because I think the dunk contest got revitalized again. That was one of the better dunk contests ever.
Yeah, definitely.
Aaron Gordon got robbed. For sure.
That's a topic. That's a later topic.
That's the second time.
I think the skills challenge is always entertaining to me personally because the big men always win. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's won like
guards can't
3
make
out of
passes.
4.
Yeah, guards literally can't make passes for some reason.
That's what it is. But I thought the way they did the All-Star game though too this year was pretty awesome because, like the charity stuff was cool, but like the change of the fourth quarter made it like when they started playing they could actually make a comeback if they needed to.
Well, it's not even that. It's like it gave them an incentive to try.
Didn't they play to 24 in the last quarter?
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
When the fourth quarter started, they added 24 to whatever team was winning, and then they just played to that. They turned the game clock off.
Yeah.
Back to going the dunk contest. Aaron Gordon definitely got robbed. I know.
Yes.
Was it Jake? Were you the one? No, it was our friend Ryan was saying that Derrick Jones Jr. should have won, but definitely should not have won at all.
This
I
is
mean,
the second time.
I seen a funny thing on Twitter. It was like Derrick Jones Jr. dunk contest recap. It's like between the legs remix, between the legs remix version 2. Like, I mean, yeah, I'm not saying that they weren't impressive. Some of the dunks, like the one off the backboard over him, that's one of the better dunks ever, to be honest. But it got repetitive, and Aaron Gordon was doing different stuff over people. Jumped over Taco Fall. Yeah. He jumped over the tallest man in the building at the time. Yeah. I hope.
So taller than that. Someone give him basketball. Someone need to sign him.
I mean, and I wanted Dwight Howard to win. I thought that would have been cool. But I definitely thought that Aaron Gordon had it won.
Imagine saying Dwight Howard.
That's who I wanted to win. Yeah. I mean, throwback, Superman.
It was Dwight Howard, Aaron Gordon, Derrick Jones Jr., and who else?
Pat Connaughton.
Yeah.
Pat Connaughton.
Right, he's from Notre Dame, ain't he?
I couldn't tell
you.
He
He played baseball too, I think.
He did.
Did he?
What a legend.
I thought I heard his stuff.
Is he played for the Bucks?
Yes. He jumped over Giannis.
That's what he when he did the combine, didn't he break the record for the vertical?
He has like a 46-inch vertical.
He had the highest that
just
year.
46.
But like it's not like record.
He didn't break. He didn't break
record breaking.
So like you,
the record.
Just like you.
We haven't talked about the 3-point contest yet. Who ended up winning? I can't remember. Buddy Hield ended up winning. Who was the dude for was it the Wizards? Was he the one that did
Davis Bertans?
I was saying Davis.
Bucket.
He's a goofy looking dude though.
Yeah, he didn't miss a Mountain Dew zone the entire 3-point contest.
Was that worth 3 or I'm not?
That was worth 3. It was 30 footers. He didn't miss one the whole time. Yeah,
it's insane.
That's like,
who got runner up? Was it him?
Devin Booker.
Devin Booker. Rest in power. What did
should have been an All-Star anyway.
Yeah. What did Buddy Hield get? Was it like 25?
27 to win. It was 27.
That's insane. When did Zion come back? Like, he was hurt, but I remember he came back and he had like 15 his first game or something like that. Or
No, I think it was like 22.
22.
Oh. Yeah, and he hit
definitely
3 or 4 threes. I think he's 4 for 4 from the 3-point line. Yeah.
What do y'all think about the rise of Zion? Do you think he's gonna end up getting hurt?
I think. I've been listening to Zion hype for a long time, like since he was playing 1A high school basketball.
Yeah.
And when I watched him play, I thought that it would be easier to guard him in the NBA because all he did was take it to the rim. And now, 2 things. One thing, the statistic that everybody's talking about, that like 75 or 80% of his shots are either made field goals or rebounded by Zion is actually insane. But the second thing is, to see him shoot like he's shooting right now, makes it almost entirely impossible to guard him because you can't go out onto him because then he'll run right past you and dunk it over whoever's standing.
He also is an excellent passer.
Yeah,
that's a very underrated part of his game. He's like his court vision is very underrated. He also has one of the best second jumps I've ever seen in basketball. Like shoot the ball and then explode back. Like if he shoots a layup, he can jump just as high on the way back up to get his rebound, and that's insane.
Yeah.
Because he can jump 48 inches going up the first time, and then he jumps 48 again, and nobody else can do that.
The problem is, some things he needs to change. The skill's there, the athleticism's there, but if he's ever going to make a big impact on a really good team, he's got to get in shape.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's got to be able to play, more minutes than
I
he
seen
is
this.
now.
I seen this thing where it was like Zion. He runs like he's late for class, but he doesn't want to get sweaty.
He looks like who's that dude? That Bigums dude? You know what I'm talking about? He looks like him. Is he out of contention to win Rookie of the Year?
I think that the biggest argument that they say is if they make the playoffs over the Grizzlies, it'll spark it more.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, right now the ESPN's like 92% John Morant, and like 8%. Zion.
What's John Morant even averaging? Is he averaging 20?
Like 19 and 9 or something like that.
Yeah.
He's doing amazing.
I think if Zion would have played all year and hadn't got hurt, he would be
Oh, yeah.
at the top of that percent. So next
Well, the
year,
Pelicans
who will
wouldn't-
be the better player? I think it'll be Zion if he stays healthy.
The
But
Pelicans,
this year, I think
also the
it'll be
Pelicans
John
wouldn't have
Morant.
the record they would have now if he played the whole time.
Isn't the record like?
It's not good.
It's not good.
It's trash.
I mean, they're still in the 8 seed race, but it's
Yeah.
not that good. Bro.
Yeah.
Who's the other Rookie of the Year's like contention? It's
It's Ja and Zion.
Zion.
That's
What's
pretty
RJ
much it.
Barrett doing?
12 a game. He's
Yeah, nothing.
no.
That's trash.
So Cam Reddish is doing
Oh.
that as well.
But
All right, guys, let's go ahead and switch up the topic a little bit. Talk about baseball. Now, a lot has happened. The Astros cheating scandal. What's your guys' thoughts about that?
I think it's the worst thing to happen to baseball, maybe ever, at least since the Black Sox. I mean, it's so bad.
I agree with since the Black Sox.
What
Yeah,
what
so-
happened with the Black Sox? I think you
So-
told me once, Zach, but
It
The
was
Black Sox. Go ahead, Zach. You want to do it?
yeah. It was when the White Sox wasn't just. It was like they just bet like I don't know.
Yeah,
I was
so
like they bet against themselves.
They bet against themselves, and then most of the team, at least most of the team, was trying to throw the games. There is some speculation as to whether some of the really, really good players on that team were in that scandal. Like, I believe it was Shoeless Joe Jackson. That's the main one that they think he was still trying to play because he played really well that series.
He's still in the Baseball Hall of Fame,
Yeah, but
even after the Black
Pete
Sox.
Rose isn't.
but
That makes me so.
I mean that's bad for the game of baseball, but for the Astros to do it and win the World Series and take it from some of those people. And the other thing that people aren't really talking about all that much is how Jose Altuve took the MVP from Aaron Judge in 2017 with that, because they think they've been doing it for 3 years now.
I haven't heard anyone say that.
Yeah.
Even talk about that.
Yeah,
That's why
because
Judge
I
is
mean,
one of the
Judge,
first
that
ones
was
to talk
Judge's breakout year.
Yeah.
And Jose Altuve had a great year that year, but it's hard to think about. And I think Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa, George Springer, all those guys, I think they are outstanding baseball players, and people are going to almost totally forget about that because of this. Which is sad, because I think they're probably...
Yeah, there'll be like an asterisk by their name.
Yeah.
Or something.
That would be the only thing people talk about.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, they deserve it. I mean,
Definitely.
that's what they get, I guess. But
Do you all think there should be any like punishments for the pitchers this next season if they target the Astros players? Because I've seen a lot of memes about like Astros players getting hit and like other pitchers warming up in the bullpen when it's the leadoff hitter. But do you think there should be punishments?
I mean,
Probably have to be.
Yeah.
There has to be.
the league has to do something about it. I hope it's not like 10-game suspensions, but the league has to do something, because I mean, at the end of the day, when somebody's throwing a 95-mile-an-hour fastball at somebody, and I don't think anybody would target and try to hit somebody in the head, but if they did, that turns into a really dangerous situation that isn't worth it.
I mean, I'd almost take a 10-game suspension if I could just.
Yeah.
Drill on these guys.
These guys are mad. I mean, and you
Yeah.
should be,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
those guys were
Have-
having to try and pitch against him. Like Clayton Kershaw in the playoffs, he's the best pitcher of our generation, in my opinion. And they were
hammered him. They hammered
yeah.
him.
I mean, he
Yeah.
couldn't get people out, because
Yeah.
especially when you throw the stuff that Clayton Kershaw throws, because he doesn't throw it 100 miles an hour, but he throws a really good breaking ball. But when you know that breaking ball is coming, and it's kind of slow, a slower breaking ball, when you know that breaking ball is coming, I mean, it's
Very simple.
yeah.
Have any other pitchers said anything about it, or is like openly in the
I don't
media?
think there's many pitchers. It's mainly just like hitters.
I saw
Yeah,
who was the pitcher? I think he was on Mike Studd's podcast.
Yeah.
He talked about it.
Was it Mike Clevenger.
Just Mike Clevenger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What all did he say about
He's
it?
him and Trevor Bauer. I'm not sure Trevor Bauer has commented on it. I'm sure he has because that's what he does.
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of the most outgoing personalities in the game, which is something that the game. I mean, I know I'm going off topic, but that's something that the game is kind of missing from other sports is those big personalities that
Yeah.
talk and tweet, and I think that brings a lot of attention to the game. But yeah, Mike Clevenger and I haven't heard his comments actually, but I know that he was pretty upset about it. Which pitchers, in my opinion, pitchers should be more upset about it because
Yeah.
that's the only thing they have going for them.
They literally only pitch. So
Yeah.
What Mike Clevenger was saying was like, I mean, he's obviously upset about it. One thing that he said was, like, think about these people that are just getting their first shot.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
being there pitching against the Astros, and then
Yeah.
they get cheated out of
They
spot, and then
get-
they're sent back to.
slapped a dinger
Yeah.
on him. And,
Like
They have a
Clayton
job.
Kershaw is, one of the best pitchers in the league. He's got a spot, and he's going to have a spot for as long as he wants a spot. But there are young kids coming in that are pitching that are, 20, 21 years old that have spent 2 years in the minors, and they come up and get a start or a spot relief appearance against the Astros, and the Astros, hit the ball all over the park because they know everything that's coming. And that kid could have had a 10 or 15-year career in MLB, but now he goes back to the minors because the Astros are hitting the ball over the yard.
I didn't even think about that. That's
Yeah.
insane.
I mean, that's
That could just ruin
that's one of the
someone's career.
things that's so messed up about it is those guys could be making millions of dollars, and now they're making, $30,000 a year, and the minor leagues with bad travel, and I mean, it's tough.
How many games is there again in baseball? Like 150?
162.
That's
That's
a
so
lot.
many.
Yeah,
Um,
they play like
10-game
6 days a
suspension.
week.
What is that in 160 games?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
especially if you're pitching.
imagine getting a 10-game suspension in the NFL.
Yeah. Miles Garrett collapsed.
Yeah. To kind of switch thoughts a little bit, what are your thoughts on David Ross as the Cubs skipper?
I think I was always a big David Ross fan, and you know that he's good with people because toward the end of his career when he played for the Cubs, when they won a World Series, every time John Lester pitched, he caught because John Lester is a head case. He's the guy that, can't throw the
feel.
bases.
Isn't he older than dirt?
Yeah,
Isn't he
but
pretty
you
old?
can't, like John Lester refuses to throw the ball to a base.
Yeah, he can if he gets a ground ball to him at the mound, he runs over and flips it. He can't pick people off just because he's in his head. Because he throws the ball wherever he wants to throw it when he's on the mound and throws it hard and whatever, but he can't do it usually because he's a head case. David Ross was able to kind of calm him down, relax him, and he was the only guy that John Lester could throw to, which makes me think that he's good with the guys. He's good in the clubhouse. People respect him, and catchers usually have some of the best baseball minds in the game because they have to call the game, and they're basically the quarterback of the baseball field because they're telling people where the ball needs to go and all that kind of stuff. He is young, so people might have he's not young in terms of player-wise, but as a manager, he's
How old is he?
young.
Like,
mid-40s.
Early 40s, mid-40s.
do you
Because he just retired after they won the World Series, right?
after they won the
So,
World Series.
yeah.
do the Cubs have a chance to go to the World Series with him as a manager, you think?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I think
Because there's still the whole Chris Bryant thing going on about them not wanting to keep him and stuff.
Why aren't they wanting to keep him?
I couldn't tell you.
I couldn't tell you. I just know that there's a big thing going on.
Yeah.
But I think eventually he'll be able to build a championship team, I think, yeah.
Do you all think Christian Yelich can come back as strong as last year?
He was the best player in baseball last year.
Yes,
And
the best player in baseball.
because when he played for the Marlins, he was good, but nobody thought about him because Giancarlo Stanton was there, and he was one of the best players in baseball, right? And then he goes to the Brewers, and, he was tearing the ball up. You couldn't get him out. And when he got hurt, it's always tough to go a long period of time, not see live pitching and stuff like that. But I think with spring training and all the stuff that he's done, I think he'll be back at it.
What was his batting average? Because when y'all look it up, actually, I'm kind of curious.
I couldn't tell you the exact number.
I just know, I didn't watch much baseball last year. I follow the Reds because Reds fan, but
Right.
imagine being a Reds fan. It's awful.
It's tough, man.
He
Yeah.
batted 329.
329. That's insane.
so-
329, 44 home runs.
What was
I'm trying to look
the home
at
run?
That's Jose Altuve stuff.
Ooh,
that's
without
tough.
without even, and he doesn't even know what's getting pitched to him. That's insane, though. Do y'all think this will be a breakout year for Vladdy Jr.? Or think he just kind of stays stagnant?
I don't know. I mean, he's almost like the Zion Williamson of baseball, right? He's got a lot of hype, and a lot of times it's really difficult to live up to that kind of thing. I think he'll hit for a lot of power. I think he'll hit some home runs this year, but I don't know that he'll ever be somebody that can hit, he's never going to hit 300, but that's not what he's in the league to do.
He's never going to be his dad.
No, I don't think he'll.
He's never going to live up to his dad.
He's a totally different player, but
Yeah,
I just don't think he'll ever be able to be like the guy on a championship team. But I think he'll hit a lot of home runs, which is what the game's turning into.
Yeah, was it the year that Aaron Judge broke out? Was that like, I remember people were freaking out because baseball is like everyone was striking out, or it's like you either struck out or you had a home run.
Yeah, they're like breaking records in the same year for home runs and strikeouts because, I mean, a lot of people think that the balls are different. Like the balls are
I remember seeing something about that.
tighter so that they'll fly further. I don't know that that's true. I think it's a lot of people are getting into bat path and launch angle and stuff that are made that your bat doesn't stay in the zone as long, kind of, and you're more likely to hit the ball at a higher launch angle, which creates more pop-ups, more fly balls, more strikeouts, but it also is going to create more home runs, which in the end, they've done the statistics and stuff. It's better to hit a little bit lower average or 50 points lower even, but to hit more home runs, and it's better for your team, and it's better for the game of baseball because that's what people want to see. They want to see the ball go yard.
Yeah, to get more views.
Definitely what I'd rather see.
Yeah, they bring more
Luke
revenue.
just wants to see bat flips. I mean, that's what people are here
Honestly,
for.
some dude
That's what
jacket.
You go back on
50
Yelich.
feet.
Yelich last year led the league in batting average, on base percentage, slugging percentage, OPS, and total bases last season.
That's insane.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's probably gonna be it for baseball.
Owen, I'm gonna throw something in there. Shout out Tanner Craig.
Yeah.
Kid's a stud.
Big shout out to Tanner Craig.
God,
The UE boy.
can't get him out.
Yes, sir.
He's going insane.
He's
National College Player of the Week for D1.
first round pick in the MLB draft.
First round.
If I'm the Cincinnati
He
Reds,
better get drafted.
My dad said that he might go to the Astros so he can hit every pitch out.
does he have a chance to be like I don't really understand the MLB draft. He'll get drafted, but I'm saying like I don't understand the MLB draft. Like, is there like 30 rounds?
There's a lot of rounds.
So like,
But like, there's also that means there's a lot more opportunity for you to be in the minors longer.
The thing about it is,
down you go.
the thing about it is Tanner fits the mold for the new professional baseball player.
oh, he's
Used to, people were looking for five-tool guys that could run, throw, and I'm not saying Tanner can't do all that. What I'm saying is Tanner hits the ball and hits it a long ways,
They're
and that's
looking,
what you need.
made
they
a
used
slap
to, they used to be
fingers.
looking for Trouts, and they're not looking for Trouts anymore.
Because you can't, you can't.
You know what I
find
mean?
it. But yeah, I
They're
understand what you
looking
mean.
for five-tool players.
Trout, I mean, Trout's, that's a whole nother topic. He's the best baseball player right now, 100%. But
that's what
he's in the running for one of the best of all time.
Yeah, a couple more.
Me and Zach were looking at Tanner's picture in the hallway by the multipurpose gym, and he's gotten so much
bigger.
He's gotten so much bigger, like
Yeah.
swole wise. That
Yeah.
man is swole now.
That's what happens. When you get in a Division I school with their training equipment and their trainers, that's what happens. But props to him for working hard, because
Yeah,
not everybody
definitely.
does that.
Yeah.
I mean, good for
Big
him.
shout out to Tanner Craig.
Yeah, big shout out.
But yeah, so that's gonna be it for baseball. It's kind of a shameless plug. Follow us on Instagram, it's Jen_S_podcast. We're gonna be having a giveaway for a T-shirt here soon, so we'll have all the credentials and stuff later.
Also be asking questions for future podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Make
yeah.
sure you go
Ask
there
us some questions
Yeah,
because.
to be featured on some future broadcasts for sure.
All right, so the last topic we're going to be talking about is football, and obviously there's been a lot of changes to football. You know, people are saying the NFL is getting softer, and obviously there's a new league, professional football league, called XFL. First thing we're going to talk about is one of the most overhyped quarterbacks, in my opinion, Tom Brady.
Actual goat.
No, just a personal opinion. I know a lot of people don't agree. But do y'all think he's going to retire? Think he's going to go to a new team? Think he's going to stay with the Patriots?
First of all, I'd like to say I've been trying to deny that Tom Brady's the best quarterback of all time for like 3 years, and he probably was then. But now, it's not even close. He's the best.
I've been denying it since it came out of the womb. So, Peyton Manning's the best quarterback of all time. But, What was it? Oh, do you think? I mean, I think he's just gonna resign with the Pats.
Yeah,
I
honestly.
mean,
Yeah,
he's probably just gonna resign.
like
back.
if he goes,
Hopefully for a year.
Wasn't there
and
like a
then
whole
hopefully
Hulu
he's done.
commercial about him not retiring anyway at the Super Bowl commercial?
Yeah, not
Yeah.
retiring. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I think if he goes to, he's not gonna go to a team like if he goes to the Raiders. Come on now.
I think it would be better for him and his legacy if he
Just
stays
stay.
with the same team.
Yeah.
Because that's when you think about people like
That's the Kobe legacy.
Kobe. Yeah,
You think, oh yeah,
I mean,
that man stayed there.
he stayed there his entire
No matter
career.
what.
But-
He built teams there
Mm-hmm.
instead of going and chasing teams and building championship teams with the team you're with.
Mm-hmm.
That's what gets you the most respect for me at least.
Tom Brady's still taking meetings from people, from teams. But
Yeah.
he's not
Yeah.
going
No,
on
that's-
tours. He's not going to go to Oakland to meet
Yeah.
with the Raiders. He's meeting everyone in a. Instead, he's meeting everyone in a neutralized location. So it's like,
So,
why
like,
even take the meeting?
Yeah.
New England locker room.
There-
Why even take the
With
meeting?
Belichick.
Bill- yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
With Belichick.
But the Raiders, I saw something that they're gonna offer him like a 2-year, $60 million deal, which is insane. Like, I mean, I get like they have Derek Carr, who was probably subpar this year.
He's always subpar. He's always been subpar.
Yeah, but like
That's
what,
just his
they should
career.
just draft because I think this draft class is pretty good with
It's
quarterbacks.
very good.
Yeah, you just get
Next
like
year's
you
gonna
just
be
get like
good,
a what'd you say?
Next year's gonna be good too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
true.
just
You
get
get
like a
awards.
Jake, you get like a Jake Fromm in the second, third round, maybe Jalen Hurts later on. Like work him up. Like I don't think you need to try to sign Tom Brady, who's got 1 or 2 years left in the tank, and he wasn't amazing this year, but he was obviously a good
He was-
quarterback.
he was
It
alright.
depends on what kind of team. Like, if the only way I would sign Tom Brady instead of a young quarterback is if I thought I was going to be competitive that year
Yeah,
for a
you
title.
have to be win.
But
It's
like-
win now. He's not a rebuild quarterback.
It's
They're
like
totally
the
different.
Clip. I'm going back to basketball, but it's like the Clippers signing all these guys this year, and like for 1-year contracts because they're in win now, and like the
Yeah.
Lakers, they're signing these guys on 1-2 year contracts because they're in win now mode. They're not trying to get young stud. They're not trying to get like second or third year players that.
Right.
But either way, I
Same
like
thing
to
in
think
football.
about those meetings with Tom Brady and those other teams, like in those interview rooms at the police station, and Belichick behind the window, like,
Yeah.
and they offer him like $60 million, and he's like, "I'll give you $60 million in like 1 cent." If you come back
Belichick
to the
would never
Patriots.
give him $60 million ever.
He'd be
Yeah.
like,
It'd have to be like a 45-year deal.
Yeah.
I will allow you to come back to our team.
Yeah.
You might be able to come back if you leave this meeting right now.
I don't think this will happen, but one thing I saw that was interesting was him to the Titans,
I've
Yeah.
seen that.
because a lot of people don't know this, but the Titans head coach is like one of Tom Brady's best friends.
Mike Vrabel.
Mike
Really?
Vrabel.
Oh yeah, because
I
he
didn't
was
know
he
that.
was
He
on
was
the
on that-
championship.
yeah.
He played linebacker, but he had like 4 receptions, and all the receptions were touchdowns. So
Yeah.
they played like offense
Oh, yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
He played like fullback,
cool.
I think.
And then because you got to think, what's the problem with New England? It's weapons.
Weapons.
God,
Always,
look at-
always
yeah.
weapons.
Look at Tennessee Titans. They got receivers everywhere. They got Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Who's the rookie?
They have-
Who's that rookie receiver that almost won offensive rookie of the year?
What times are
They had a Titans receiver. He was like number 11. I don't know why I can't remember his name.
I'll probably know when I
Yeah, it's like Anthony something.
That's an Anthony shirt.
Yeah, Anthony Richco.
Yeah.
Shout out, Rich.
Like if he goes Titans,
I don't think it'll
I know,
happen.
but that'd be kind of dope. I mean, the team would beat him. His best friend.
Think about
the coach.
think about how far they went with Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
Like imagine if they had
Right.
Tom Brady.
AJ Brown maybe.
AJ Brown. Yeah, that is
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
He's an 84, not 11, I think.
He's 11.
He's 11.
He's 11.
But like you have to think, it's like, oh, and Tom Brady's never had a amazing running back on his team. Like, have you thought like he's never had he's had like a subpar running back.
He's always had like a
Yeah.
a Sonny
That's-
Michel or
Yeah.
That's not what
Those
those
teams
teams have been
look
built
at
on.
LeGarrette Blount.
Yeah.
When
That's
you,
what I was
when you
gonna
have
say.
a quarterback like Tom Brady, you're trying to build that
Yeah,
team
yeah, yeah.
around your passing yards, like around
Edelman.
Gronkowski and
Mhm.
people like that.
He single-handedly turned Edelman into a Hall of Fame wide
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Like if Edelman was on any other team, he would not be in Hall
That's
of
just
Fame.
Peyton Manning.
Wait, what
He'd,
is?
he'd have been a Hall of Famer.
Oh
if
yeah,
he's on
yeah.
Peyton
Okay, I thought you were
Manning's
saying.
team,
I thought you
I
were
mean, he
slandering his
turned
name.
Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne into.
Oh, Marvin Harrison's the best shooters of all time because of Peyton Manning.
Because of
Yeah.
Reggie Wayne.
Yeah, Reggie Wayne too.
Reggie Wayne wasn't nearly as special as Marvin Harrison, but he
But
turned him into,
stats-wise. Man, I never even thought about the Titans thing. That'd be because you got to think if you have a running back like Derrick Henry and Tom Brady
That would be
so fun.
just
to watch.
just
That'd
doesn't
be so fun
want
to
to throw
watch.
a play. Mike Vrabel's like run a little.
Well, I mean, it
Half-
just
Run a read option.
Yeah. Tom Brady's like
Tom Brady.
looks like a slob.
And just imagine how many people would actually be happy about Tom Brady leaving the Patriots.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Because when you
I
talk
wouldn't
about
hate
it,
him.
people
I
are
wouldn't
like,
hate him
Because
that
they
much.
can't have
anybody
two
but the
teams to
Patriots.
hate.
I wouldn't hate him that much, to be honest. Like, I hate Tom Brady because of the Patriots and because I am a diehard Colts fan and because the Patriots would literally clap us almost every time.
Yeah.
To kind of go back, like, talk about the Colts. So, I've seen the things that Tom Brady might go to the Colts, and I would. It would be so
I
hard for me
couldn't
to
even
watch that.
I couldn't
Yeah.
I couldn't
imagine.
fathom that.
But
I
I've
don't know
seen,
why.
like, I'm on a bunch of, like, Facebook. Imagine still going on Facebook. But yeah, Luke doesn't even have Facebook.
Imagine having Facebook.
But,
Deletes Facebook, gains 5 IQ points.
what was it? Oh, I'm in a bunch of, like, it's like Colts fans, like, little group things, and there's like thousands of people in it. And I see at least twice a day, it's like, Tom Brady to the Colts, what are your guys' thoughts? And I don't know, I'd hate it. But we definitely need a QB because Jacoby Brissett was all right, and then he got hurt.
He was all right.
Yeah, I mean, he was like top 5 in touchdowns, which he's had like 14 in like 5 weeks or like 6 weeks, and then he got hurt, and then we had to use. Oh my god, I don't want to talk about it. It was rough to watch. We got beat by the Dolphins, so
That's true.
that was I watched that game and it hurt me to watch. But we definitely need a quarterback. There's some experienced QBs like Philip Rivers, which makes a lot of sense because his our head coach Frank Wright was his like quarterback coach and offensive coordinator at one point,
yeah.
or maybe it's our
Something like
offensive
that.
coordinator. It was something like that, and then. We have another, like, one of our, another coach used to be Phil Rivers' coach. So that can make sense, even though he's awful. Tom Brady, like I said, and then even Cam Newton. Cam Newton would be pretty interesting, I think. But I don't think he's going to go there.
I think Cam Newton would be the best fit for the Colts right now because the Colts aren't in win now mode. The Colts need to build the team.
They have a lot of young talent.
I think we'll be
And
win now
in
mode in
2 or
like
3 years,
2-3 years. Yeah.
They should be a good team. But the thing about that is, I don't think Tom Brady for sure will be here in 3 years.
Oh yeah, Tom Brady should not be in the
I don't
Colts.
think Philip Rivers will be either.
Yeah. We could also, like, there's some QBs you could draft because, like I said earlier, or like we all said earlier, there's this QB draft or this QB class is kind of stacked, and this season after, so we didn't have draft QB this year. I've seen a lot of mock drafts that say we take Jordan Love at, is it 13? I think is the Colts pick, 13 or 14.
I think 13.
We might take Jordan Love. There's also Jalen Hurts, which would probably be a 4th round pick if I had to assume 3rd round pick. I like Jalen Hurts. I see Zach's face right now.
He's not a, like, you don't want to draft him like first or second.
Yeah,
like,
definitely not. Yeah.
like he's a 3rd, 4th round quarterback. He's not a Tua or a Burrow.
Yeah, no,
by any
definitely
means,
not.
Or even a Herbert.
Yeah. Even we could even draft Jake Fromm. I don't really like Jake Fromm though. I don't think he'd be that good of a quarterback in the NFL.
I mean, he'd probably be better than Brissett.
That's true.
Yeah.
Any of these.
Oh, yeah.
It just depends on how you want to do it.
I think I liked Brissett, or I liked him when we were winning because we were 5-2, and then he got hurt and he came back.
Everybody looks good when you're winning.
Yeah, definitely. And we have, not to mention the Colts have one of the best offensive lines.
They have one of the best statistical offensive lines to ever play the game of football.
But even if we don't draft quarterback or we don't sign like an experienced quarterback, we could also sign like Teddy Bridgewater, Andy Dalton, or Marcus Mariota. I'm just gonna go ahead and let you know if we sign Andy Dalton, I'm not being a Colts fan next season. I'm sorry. I know. Luke, do you like the Bengals?
Yeah, I like the Bengals, but I do not like Andy Dalton.
Yeah. Okay. If Gary Watts, good old Luke Stad's watching this, Andy Dalton's the worst quarterback of all time.
But here's the thing: if you get Andy Dalton on your team, like he's decent. He's not a horrible quarterback.
He's not an awful. I just
he would
don't
be
like
somebody
him.
you'd have to. I don't think he's
You'd
free
have to
agent. I
teach
think
him
you'd
how
have to
to
train
win.
him. But
He
you could
played for the Bengals.
You
for
could
a
just
long
be a
time.
transition guy. I mean, because he knows football. So if
Yeah.
you wanted to get,
He'd be better than Brissett.
if you wanted, to,
I can say that.
if you want to get one of these guys in the 4th round and have
Build
Andy
them
Dalton teach
up.
him the game, it's not like you're having Philip Rivers on the sideline teaching
Yeah.
the game, but still,
I don't even want to discuss even Marcus Mariota. I don't
he is
like.
awful.
He is
awful.
Marcus Mariota got his job taken by Ryan Tannehill.
and Ryan Tannehill did good because of Derrick Henry.
Because of the threat of them handing the ball
Yeah.
every single time.
Because teams are like, we can't let Derrick Henry
Derrick-
run the ball,
yeah.
so we're gonna rush, or then that leaves literally play action.
Play action is
do play action, and then you got AJ Brown, is that it is, wide open on like a little slant route or something. Like, I don't know. I think Marcus Mariota is pretty trash. To talk about, this is kind of a big thing, is the NFL versus XFL. Now the XFL they introduced 8 teams, and I'm a St. Louis Battlehawks fan because you got a rep. It's closest. Luke's over here is a Renegades fan. Zach, do you like a team?
I have not.
Zach does not like
Jake, I don't think.
haven't picked a team. I mean,
I don't like the XFL.
I love the XFL.
I love
I think it has potential, but it's never going to be the league.
Oh,
But it's not
in this
supposed to.
country.
It's not-
It's not supposed
I mean,
to.
it's a football league in the off season when the NFL is not playing,
Right.
which is why people like it. It is a little different, so it brings a different aspect.
Before we talk about some kind of the differences in the leagues, we can talk about like how there's technically a ninth team, and Luke might be able to talk more about it. But it's like extra players.
Yeah. So what it is, it's like everyone's like, they're technically, it's called Team 9, but what it is if someone in the league's hurt, like the Renegades, they have a wide receiver that's hurt, they can just go get a player from Team 9 and bring them on for that week.
Gotcha.
How much would they have to pay him? Do you think?
I didn't.
They probably make around like $60K a year. I think is what I saw. Some of like the players.
The players, like all the players.
I think.
I would think they'd make more than that.
No, they don't make that.
There's not that much
For the inaugural season,
It's
they're
like
not
it's
gonna
like the
make that
WNBA. You got to watch to get money. People got to
Yeah.
watch to get money.
That's fair.
We got to talk about the WNBA one time because I will go. Oh, never mind.
That's a topic
Yeah, let's talk for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But like it's kind of like a practice squad, right? Is that what it
it's
is?
essentially, but
Yeah.
it's for anybody.
But
Yeah.
so kind of like how in the G League in basketball, they can like any team can pick up a certain. Like every team has like 2 players that you can't take, but then the rest of them you can pick up for your own team. Is it kind of like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like a mixture of a bunch of different things. But
Yeah.
Some real differences. There's no extra point attempt when it comes to like because in the NFL you either go for 2, which is just a play
You just
like
get 7.
yeah. No, there's
No.
You can go for a 1 point attempt, which is from the 2-yard line, right?
Yeah.
it's from 2
2
2-yard
points.
line.
You
It's
get
like
5.
So you get 6.
yeah, and then there's 2-point conversion,
I have no
which
idea.
is 5, and then 3-point conversion, which from the 10-yard line.
Right.
Which I think that's really dope. I like that better than the extra point attempt for a field goal or
Yeah. I mean, it just makes the game more interesting.
yeah,
it's extra kicker, so.
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Kickers are essentially useless. And I've seen that video of the kickoffs they have. And it's,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Might as well
kickoff,
throw it on.
the
play,
kickoffs are so weird.
the kickoffs. I saw something, and it was because the players can't move until the returner catches the ball. I saw something, and it was like this makes it to where there's gonna be less injuries on kickoff returns, and
Concussion rates are in the NFL on returns.
Mm-hmm.
It's 21%. In the XFL, it's 6%.
Yeah.
so
So, I mean-
essentially, people are just seeing this because like it's a big deal that if you because like I've seen people say like, oh, I'm not gonna let my kid play football because of like it'll mess them up. You know what I mean? So like maybe this is just a small part of the game, obviously.
Yeah.
But like if you have a lower chance, then it could be better.
Yeah.
Do y'all think the XFL is gonna last? I personally think it will, but
I
don't know.
They've tried it before. I don't know if a lot of people know that, but they tried it. What was that, like 2006?
I think so.
They tried it with the same guy. Tried to do the same thing, the same.
Is it
league.
Vince
McMahon? Yeah.
Oliver Luck's the commissioner, which Andrew
Yeah.
Luck.
Yeah. But
Sorry.
That's what the Colts should go get.
Yeah.
Bring them back up.
Back.
Bring them back up.
Yeah.
but they, I don't know. It didn't work last time. But I mean, maybe.
I think
I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it last time.
I personally think the reason why it has a better chance is social media. Because they didn't have that back in there.
The
No,
highlights.
There's a lot of hype. There's a lot more hype that can
They
be spread
post
around.
they post a bunch of banger stuff
Yeah.
on
That's true.
social
That's
media.
Their social media is
They're
pretty fire.
They got like
That's
It's
the
like
only
all
reason.
their
That's the
stuff.
only reason I. That's
it's
the
like
only,
what?
the only way I see it. That's the only way I like keep
Oh,
up with
yeah.
games and stuff is with social media.
Because it's definitely like I follow like a bunch of stuff. It's like XFL on Fox because that's who's sponsored. They have a lot of more sponsorships now too.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
I think the main like obviously it's just got to get viewers. Like
Yeah.
people just got to watch it, which I think I think people will always watch it, but I just feel like it's gonna be hard for people to get kind of invested just because NFL teams
Yeah.
can't just come sign these players, and obviously the people are gonna leave.
Yeah.
To the
Especially if
NFL.
they're getting paid $60,000 a year.
Yeah.
And football
But
is.
the thing is, for one thing, there's only 8 teams, and usually when people like teams, they're usually in a fairly close proximity
Yeah.
to that city or whatever. So, like, they have a hometown team. Well, if there's only 8 teams,
Yeah, that's
then
like
not everybody's going to be close to a team.
that's why I
right?
picked St. Louis. It's
I
kind
mean,
of
it's
the closest.
close-ish, but it's still
It's far
hours.
away.
It's
Five
pretty
hours
spread
away.
out though. Like the teams are pretty spread
Yeah.
out.
I'm sure, yeah.
Because they have What they got?
Seattle. You got Seattle. You got
Los
Dallas,
Angeles.
Los Angeles, New York,
Houston.
Tampa Bay,
St. Louis.
Houston, and then DC Defenders.
I mean, so you're going.
Yeah. I mean,
Or
it is
all
spread
of
out, but you're still not going to have like a team in almost every
Oh
state.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
Like you don't have 30 teams, and when they do, if they do start building expansion teams and stuff, it'll get more followers. But until they have like a lot of people have teams and they watch them on, I don't know if they only play on Sundays and Thursdays or when they play, but
One thing that I think, it can last, but you don't even have to, have it in the same capacity. Just you don't have to televise it.
Yeah.
yeah,
How many minor league baseball games are on?
that's true.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's
I think the XFL will definitely be I think it'll be pretty interesting to see if it'll last. I think it's gonna last at least 5 years, but I think it could just last.
Yeah,
It could just as easily be 2.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
It could definitely. I think it might end up being obviously what I want it to kind of compete with the NFL, but that's probably never going to
It's
happen.
never
No.
gonna
It'll
happen.
never
The NFL is the biggest market in
Yeah.
American sports now.
Yeah.
Officially, it's been for a couple
Yeah.
years now. It's the biggest sports market.
I wish it could compete, but it's definitely not going to. But this could be used as for people that still are trying to follow their dreams and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And be able to, because if you show out the XFL, a team's going to sign you. You get signed for a year. That's even $600K.
Yeah.
Right? That's a lot of money. So that could change someone's life instead of making 70, 60K a year.
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that's probably gonna be it for football.
Oh, I got one more thing.
Let's hear it.
The Browns offensive lineman, Greg Robinson, got obtained by the border with 157 pounds of marijuana.
Oh my goodness.
No, I saw it
What?
was two. They both played. It was 2 offensive linemen.
Oh, okay,
And
so-
they both played for. I think it was LSU. I think
Really?
they both played for LSU.
Wow.
But one of them was a Browns.
Yeah.
Yes, left tackle.
How much?
So,
No, it was. I saw something.
That's like 2-3 years salary
Yeah.
just on
that's
marijuana.
a lot of money.
That meant, wait, what border? It was going to Mexico or
good guess.
Canada. What do you mean, what board?
I mean, there's 2 borders.
I mean, I
Yeah,
understand
you're
your
right.
political standpoint.
But that's insane.
The first report said that he's facing up to 20 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's especially marijuana. That's a lot because
Yeah.
usually people are like, "Don't do that again,"
Yeah.
and then they
Yeah.
put them back out. But
Wrist slap.
almost 200
Yeah.
pounds of marijuana. That's insane.
that is because people
You don't buy it by pounds, you buy it by ounces.
like
Yeah.
ounce. Yeah.
157
How many
pounds.
ounces are in a pound?
60. Come on, Owen.
God.
You're better than that.
No, I
Senior in high school.
I hear people talk about because obviously you hear about drugs and stuff. Obviously I don't do drugs, but it's bought an ounce, right? You buy an ounce. That's a lot. That's so much money.
That's a lot.
It's
I
a lot
don't.
of money.
I can't even fathom but that is insane.
That is so much.
But yeah, make sure.
Why would you even do that?
I know, honestly.
Like, why?
I don't understand the point in it.
Because you don't bring
You're
200
not gonna,
pounds
you're
over
not
here.
going to smoke all that.
Yeah, it's not like, hey, we're going to have a party. There will be 158 pounds of marijuana.
Make sure you pull up.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably gonna be it for this. Remember to follow us on social media. We have a Twitter. It's not really popping off like the Instagram is, but they're the same handle. It's Gen_S_podcast. But yeah, remember, like I said earlier, we're gonna have a giveaway for a T-shirt. So yeah, that's gonna be it for the first podcast. Thanks for listening.
Just to throw in
Imagine.
an extra stat. In Colorado, the average price for 1 pound of weed is $1,300.
Oh my goodness.
Hold on, let me do some quick math real quick. 13.
It's just, what? Is this dude planning on selling it? Like,
How many-
you're in the
157?
NFL.
You're literally in the NFL.
Wait, how-
and now you're
1300.
20 years in prison.
1,300 times 157.
Yes.
He probably got lucky there. 'cause
$204.
$1,000. Yeah. Just for weed.
Imagine.
That's not 2 years salary. That's about like a quarter of 1 year salary.
Yeah, but still.
Probably
That's
like
still,
one-
but that's
That's
still
crazy.
like that's insane. I don't
But
know how
that
you
but
would
but
use
that's
that.
in Colorado where it's legal. If he was selling it in places
That
where
was
it
just-
wasn't legal, it'd be worth a lot more.
Yeah.
But still, it wouldn't be worth an NFL salary.
Browns
more
will,
likely.
Browns will probably still bring him back.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right, dude.
Somebody,
yeah.
offensive
Oh,
lineman, right?
They-
Somebody block
They
the
just
bacon,
have a
please.
bad rap sheet, don't
Come on, is that the dude that smokes weed? He's like, we don't care. He can block.
Because
Josh
Johnny
Gordon.
Manziel.
Josh Gordon.
Yeah,
He's never gonna play football ever again.
that's crazy.
Mm. All right, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap it up.
If it's okay with you, Zach.
Yeah,
we're
if
gonna
it's
wrap it
okay
up
with you.
now.
I had to
alright.
put that.
Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you.
Make sure to leave us some comments on it. Some questions because we want your all's thoughts and opinions. We want to talk about what you all want us to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be it.
Podcast for the people.
Yeah, podcast
Yeah.
for the people.
Yeah. All right.
For the community.
Until next time.
We out.